What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of our 22 WRX build. It's been a minute since we put a new one out. That's because we've been extremely busy at the shop, as you're gonna see. So I wanna give you a little bit of a breakdown with what's going on. This is traditionally the engineering and marketing area. You can see there's lots of pallet racking all around, and we can't really get through. That's because we're doing a bit of a shop expansion, and that explains where our white 22 WRX is. It's all the way on that side. We'll get to it. We've got a lot to catch up on. Our car has been waiting on a few parts that are a bit of a secret. We may talk about them. We know we introduced the wheels, but we didn't show you the powder coat that we did on the two sets that we left at Race Coatings. There's actually a set on this 20 STI here, which we will not reveal quite yet. So I figured we'd walk through, we'll stop at assembly, we'll end up at our car, and then we'll get to work. We haven't done much on that car in a few weeks. Corey, are you ready?
I am ready.
Do it. As we make our way over to the WRX, I want to point out these couple of boxes that arrived from Subaru. It's a couple of STI lips and side skirts that we're going to pop open and show you. And in the meantime, we should call attention to this wall. Why does it have a bunch of holes in it, Corey? Well, and why is there one more?
Let the dust settle. We are expanding our engineering and marketing bay. So in addition to only having one lift right now that we can both share, as you guys have noticed, the sound of the aluminum welding, our welders buzzing away all day trying to get product out to you. It doesn't make for great videos with the audio. So we are actually bumping this wall out to make room for another lift, so we can both have an engineering car and a marketing car in an enclosed area that should be a little better on the ears to work on in there. So.
Yes, and one of the really exciting things is because we're going to have a marketing specific lift, we are planning to do some more builds in addition to the 22 WRX that are going to be on the lift for a few weeks or months at a time, rather than having to pull it on and off for engineering to do their thing. So it's kind of an exciting chapter for us. One of the things that we've been getting pestered on is bypass valves. We released those a few weeks ago and have sold so many that we're having a hard time keeping up, but clearly we're working on many. So the proof's in the pudding, here they are. And by the end of these builds, we're gonna have hundreds and hundreds more to send out to everyone that's got back orders, anyone that's putting in new orders as they're watching this video. So we just wanna thank you guys for putting those through, and no, we're working as fast as we can. These guys especially. I'm not really doing much, but they are.
Thank you, assembly.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. All right, the WRX is just at the end of this row. I just wanted to show off, take the long way around the new expansion in our shop. We effectively doubled our shop space in the last few months. I don't want to get into that specifically yet. We'll do a tour video coming up, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, just to show off what the expansion looks like. But I want to show you what our WRX looks like behind all the scaffolding. Be careful.
Pallet racking, scaffolding.
Scaffolding, that's what the British people say. Well, here's the WRX kind of in the corner of the shop, looking a little bit sad, definitely looking pretty dusty. I think we might have the dustiest 22 WRX in existence right now, and the lowest mileage. This thing has probably 6 or 7 miles on it at this point, and it's been confined to this space. But there is good reason for that. As soon as we finished up that big brake kit, we pulled the suspension off of it, and we're doing something a little fun, and I'll let Corey explain, because he's been the leader on this project.
Yeah, so if you want to take a look in here, we got something pretty exciting.
What's in there?
It's the stock system.
Oh, so, no.
We have been working with a company, and I won't name any names, but we are working to help develop the prototypes and the production models for coilovers for the 22. We are actually getting the first ever production prototype finalized version in the next couple weeks here, and we're going to throw those on and have hopefully a lowered, nicely driving 22 WRX.
Exactly, and as you may or may not know, the 15 through 21 WRX suspension isn't a direct fit. There's a new end link setup. Probably can't see it here right now, but once we assemble everything, we can kind of show it off. So any manufacturers that are designing the new generation of coilovers just have to, maybe not start from scratch, but they have to adapt their existing systems, and that's what we're helping out with. One of the first modifications a lot of shops out there did with their 22 WRXs is color matching all of these flares, skirts, bumpers. We decided not to start with that because we knew everyone else would be, so that's why we took the route of doing the big brake kit, something a little more unique, but we do want to jump back black to this. On our black car, the flares actually match the body pretty nicely. I wouldn't say it's necessary or absolutely necessary to color match them, but on this car, it really does not look all that great, especially when you factor in the bumpers. So Corey's gonna be pulling all of these bits off. We're gonna get them over to the body shop, get this paint to match, and eventually we're gonna be throwing wheels on there and that suspension that we were talking about, showing you guys more or less the complete package of what it looks like. So we're a bit of the way there, but there's a long route to go. While Corey's taking off the trim on this car, I'm gonna head over to the other one and show you a piece that we've been working on fitting on that one, which is an F1 light from OLM. They were kind enough to send us over one of their existing 15 through 21 versions to prototype on that WRX. The good news is it fits up just fine. The bad news is we had to do a little bit of wiring. I know they're gonna do a plug and play kit on that eventually, and really we're just the test subject for it. I wanna show you what it looks like though, and then we're gonna be installing the same one and showing you how to wire it up on our 22 WRX. So there you go. Looks pretty awesome. Looks even more awesome when it's lit up, and unfortunately I can't climb in the car and show you just yet, but we are gonna be installing this one anyway. Next up is the lips that I mentioned before. Let's unbox those, and I'm really excited to see them. They are the Cherry Blossom Red versions straight from Subaru. Well, there they are, the OEM STI Cherry Blossom Red lip kit. You've got the two side skirts and the front lip right here. There is also a couple little sections for the rear bumper, which we are still waiting on. We actually had to wait a good month for these to get delivered. They're a little hard to find right now and a bit expensive, but regardless, we're super happy with them. They're gonna look great on the car, and they're gonna give it that little extra bit that we never got from the factory. Obviously, no STI, we have nothing to compare it to, but we still have the STI dress-up parts that we can buy straight from Subaru. We're gonna list the part numbers for these down below in case you guys are interested in spending a bunch of money and waiting a little bit of time to get a set of your own. While we're unboxing, we might as well pop open the OLM F1 light as well. You guys saw it on our 22 WRX. We also have it on our 2020 STI. It's usually one of our first go-to mods because the back of the car down in the center on the bumper section looks a little boring otherwise. So here's what it looks like. Has a nice little screen protector on it. Looks great. We're gonna install it on ours, wire it up, show you guys how to do it, and then move on to some of the other stuff we have planned. Why don't I grab all of this? I'll head back over there, see what the progress is on Corey's end. Hopefully he's got all the flares and bumpers off, and then we are gonna start fitting up all of these cool things. Corey made super quick work of that. The fender flares and skirts are off. I assume it's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, pretty quick.
It took what, 5 minutes?
All of 5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, I actually spent longer unboxing those lips than he did taking that stuff off. The next part is probably gonna be a little bit harder, which is the front bumper here. There's usually a bunch of clips all around. Well, we're not surprised there because it has to hold on from the factory, but makes it a little bit of a pain for us. So we'll pull that, we'll pull the under tray, we'll get that off. I am gonna fit up the lips when this whole piece is out of the car, and then I think we're gonna have to send this off to paint. Your rear bumper as well, and then all to paint.
Yep.
Sweet. So we've got all of the body panels off and ready for paint. We're gonna take it to the paint shop tomorrow, tell them sort of the specifications of what we want done and what we don't. And I did mention that we were gonna reveal the color of the wheels that we're using for the car over there and also our STI. And so I thought I would do that now. Now, last video you saw that we dropped off 2 sets of wheels. One was an aftermarket set of Rays XTCs. Those we got done in this dark gunmetal with a little bit of flake. Looks super nice. And these are the wheels that are gonna be going on the WRX. So you guys are going to see those soon. Now, we did another set, which was the set of OEM 19-inch STI wheels. We kind of hated the factory two-tone, so we decided to get it done in a white, sort of pearl, very flaky color. A little hard to tell probably on the camera because it's not too sunny, but they look awesome in real life. And I think we're going to leave this episode off on the F1 light install because it's probably going to be a little bit of a long one. We'll make it a two-parter. In the second part, we're going to reveal all of the color match body pieces, get them back on the car, and really show you what the car looks like put together. So I'm super excited for that. I'll take care of the wheels, and we'll see you back over at the WRX.
Let's get this thing on.
Ooh, looks good already.
Yeah, I think that gunmetal is definitely the right choice against that cherry blossom caliper. I think it all looks really good.
Right, that is awesome. It's going to look a lot better when we have the body panels back on, but the wheels themselves look great. So now last thing we're going to do for today is get the F1 light installed, and I mentioned that our engineering WRX has one on here. This one actually has a custom harness on it, so we're going to cheat a little bit just to get this project done. Pull the harness off of this and put it on ours, make sure everything works, and then eventually we're going to get a plug-and-play harness from OLM to be able to put these all back together. We were a bit optimistic on the plug-and-play of this F1 light that we pulled off the engineering car. It looks like they crimped a lot of wires together to get it to work, so we're trying to clean these things up a little bit before we have the plug-and-play version of it. This isn't the most ideal way to do this. Corey, how would you rather do it?
Oh, definitely something that's weatherproof to start, but ideally you just have the correct wire length to the correct connector. But since this is temporary, like Art said, we're going to be just getting it to work on the car for now, and then we'll replace it all with an actual production plug-and-play harness.
Exactly. So just making do and getting it to work for now. Okay, we've got the wiring ran. Just plug and play.
Always remember, kids, electrical tape is not loom.
No, it
is
not.
Temporary. So, all right, Art, why don't you jump in and let's go through the sequences here.
All right, what do we got?
Let's start with, running lights. That's good. So we got the running lights. Why don't you hit the brakes? So you can see it gets brighter around the outside. Let's do reverse. Oh my God.
Reverse is my favorite.
Yeah, that will let people know you're coming, certainly.
Right,
So yeah, looks like we got a good install here. Once we get the bumper back, we can throw it in.
There you go. Where's it gonna go? Right there.
Or I can just hold it.
Boom. Imagine a bumper here, painted to match, the reverse light going. It's gonna look great.
Stuff the extra wiring in here.
Right in the exhaust.
There you go.
Since we gotta catch a flight to Wicked Big Meat out in Connecticut shortly, we're gonna call this F1 light install the end of part 1. For part 2, we're gonna be sending out all of these panels that we took off to paint. So those should be coming back here in the next week or two. We're gonna be able to install them on the car, drop it down, get all of the wheels and things on. Maybe we'll have our suspension components that we hinted at earlier so that we can lower the car as well. Either way, part 2 is gonna be a really exciting episode. Should be out in the next couple of weeks. So thank you for tuning into this one. If you haven't subscribed to our page, please do so. Like the videos, go and look at the ones we've already put out, enjoy those, and stay tuned for much more to come.